And because quality is actually really, really important in Agile, as Capers says, quality is the factor that affects schedule more than anything else, there are practices that Agile teams, engineering practices and design practices that are really essential for the Agile team to be using. And they won't be developing them all at the same time, but here are some of the things we'll talk about. Collective ownership of the code, refactoring of the code so that we make sure that it's clean, using a simple design for the actual product, and potentially using pair programming. Those are some examples of practices. The other thing is that there's something called the V&V, verification and validation. And we'll talk about how we go from business requirements all the way up to validation with user acceptance testing. And the cool thing is in Agile, we actually collapse the V by thinking about user acceptance testing and the criteria for validation. This helps us then find the steel rod of the requirements that we're then going to wrap variations around. And we use this actually in planning as well as in delivering a single discrete requirement, often using user stories as the form. So that's a real key practice for planning as well. So the team uses continuous integration of the code, customer acceptance tests, a 10-minute build so the whole code base can quickly be built, test-driven development, a very, very key quality practice, and version control is obviously important. So these are some of the things we'll also touch on in the session. And then finally we'll end with some practices for adapting Agile. There's various styles and patterns that I've observed and other coaches have observed. We'll look at some of those options, including having an enterprise transition committee, doing a pilot, having an impediment or organizational change management backlog, etc. Thank you.